Let me start straight away, man. The whole world knows that when it comes to football analysis, KSM, I'm not there. I don't know football, I don't know the analysis. I just watch from a layman's point of view, so bear with me. But let me say something. Even with my non-analytical mind of what football is, there are two things that I want us to start by learning from this World Cup thing. Two things, though. The first thing I want Ghanaians to learn is something that the coach did. Well, resign. The coach has resigned. And the reason he resigned was the failure of the Black Stars to proceed. He looked at this thing and he says, look, I've resigned. Now, I just want to draw Ghanaians' attention to something. Trust me, if this guy was a Ghanaian, or Modin, as the guys would say, he wouldn't have resigned though. Do you see how Otuado, we had to fire him? He would be there. That is the nature of the black man. Nothing is based on delivery. Why am I coach? I'm getting good money. Let me chop my money. I'll stay there and chop the money. But you see what the white folk did? After the massive failure, I interviewed my good friend, countryman Songo, and he declared that, oh no dear, if we don't go any further, he will fire the coach. I remember he was saying that. I said, oh, you won't give him any chance. No, he'll be fired.
Coach, you didn't buy Ghana for be perceived who said, I said, blasters, ya war blasters, a baby, I say, gold coach Ghana, no, I see you, Nisu coach that. And more experience, and more pedigree, and now you coach Papa B. Coach Papa B, I say, let us tax him, put him on his toes in a professional way. So better to deliver than to pamper the coach. Of course, that is. But I asked one no Ghana say ye nyan is coach that. Ye moon is coach that, which is not true. Which is not true. Coach in the World Cup, Wakobi, Iran moon no do ma World Cup mo ma pamneda. Obefa Egypt nyina. Coach in wanya me fire no. Ya be fire no pa. Mo ntena and you ma gini say coach no. Enya 4 points are qualifying tea, ye be extending the contract and answer be man contract for flow. No, ye nyan coach ni you. Ye won coach ni.
But what I'm saying is this: the coach did not wait to be fired. Oh. He came, he saw, and he concluded that what I've seen with this Black Star, nothing will change. There's nothing I can do, so let me resign. And he resigned. Let me say something quickly before I continue. You know, when you have a good company and you have a good personnel, when they resign, there's something called the exit interview. You know, before you hire them, you sat down with them and you interviewed them. They showed you their CV, what they have done, blasé, 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 and why they want the job. And based on that CV, you hire them. In the good company, when the person says, I'm leaving, then you do an exit interview. Why are you leaving? You want to understand why they are leaving. You do an exit interview. I think, JM, Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, I'm begging you, Ghana for me, Saddam Messiah, I'm begging you, have an exit interview with this coach. JM, sit down one-on-one, your friend saying Carlos Queiroz. Sit down one-on-one with him and say, Carlos, we just hired you. Well, I know we couldn't go as far as where we wanted to go, but why is this resignation? Because it says something very, very, very important, folks. Even for a common man like me who doesn't understand sports, that thing rings a bell in my head. He says the problem of the Black Stars is not on the field, though. Think about it very, very carefully. He says the problem of the Black Stars is not on the field. It's what happens off the pitch. But you know something that I find very, very interesting? The coach has said it too. But it's not only the coach who has said it. Many Ghanaians say this. I had the opportunity and the privilege and the honor to talk with two very, very intelligent sports analysts. I spoke with Dan Kweku, and he said something very, very interesting. He says football there doesn't have any magic. You know, sometimes you don't know what can happen, but a team that you think will lose can win. So it doesn't have any magic. And so if the logic is that it doesn't have any magic, then based on that logic, they can say maybe the Black Stars will go somewhere. Based on the logic, say anything can happen in football. If it's based on that, you can say that the Black Stars can go somewhere. But Dankwekweba says, but if it's based on preparation, if it's based on intelligent team selection, if it's based on performance, then he has no hope.
In all sincerity, the only way I'll bet on this Black Stars team is if I'm told to bet based on luck. If I'm told that, you know, football, it's like life, it's unpredictable, it's illogical, so I should bet, then I'll do so.
They can bet on that.
Yes, but based on preparation, psychologically, technically, everything, we are not ready. If we are doing realistic analysis, it should be based on preparation. But if you are giving a team to a coach less than 2 weeks to a tournament, and you deceptively tell me that, we're going to win, let's be realistic. It's so in terms of preparation, for me, it's nothing to write home about. So I'll bet on this team based on the fact that football is illogical. But other than that, I wouldn't bet on the team. No.
You listen to him. He was right here that he said he thinks that to date, the Black Stars team that we have assembled is the weakest team ever. Okawaha. Saying, yeah, it's not anything, but if you're looking at the facts on the ground, that this is the weakest team ever. Like Kweku sat here and he said it.
But this is the poorest team we are taking to the World Cup.
Folks, not only did Kweku say it, I invited countryman Songo. And countryman Songo too went to town, fireman. He said that the tactics must change. What is happening, you can't go to the World Cup stage and everything you want to do is play defense. Yeah, we play defense against London or England and it worked, but come up with a strategy and vary your tactics. That's what countryman Songo said.
My expectation is that coach, should vary his tactics. On varying the system, As much as you defend, you need to find a way to attack, to create chances, to also score. You can't always defend. You will concede. Because 3 matches in our defending Maman for Mutatis. Now, our next opponent, Colombia, they are going to work on that, your defending, defensive game of play. So to be able to break it down. And your defense is so fantastic. A solid match after all, you select only defensive or defending players in Guanaco World Cup war. So you should vary his tactics against Colombia, so we can also see our team say, yes, we express here, yes, we create chances, yes, we pursue a share, yes, we pursue your goals, maybe your World Cup.
And folks, let me tell you what surprised me most. That saddens me to this date. When Countryman came on this show and said that, and we played it on Facebook, on YouTube and everything, you have access to it. Go and listen to what Ghanaians said about Countryman Songo. They insulted him, cursed him out, actually degraded Countryman Songo. Some even went to the extent of saying, so this guy is a weed smoker. What is he talking about? He thinks you can smoke weed and then come and talk your nonsense. And lambasted Countryman Songo. When I was reading the comments, I was shocked. Because you know me name sports. I just interviewed the people who I think know, for them to come and educate me. And after the program, I was so educated. I was like, really? This is what is happening? And he said it all. Then Kweku said it all. But the important thing is this. The reaction on social media to what Countryman Songo said shocked the hell out of me. So when the whole thing turned, and it just so happened that everything he said was on point, I sent him a text and I said, hey, Countryman Songo, I think you have been vindicated. So why is everybody attacking you like that? And he sends me a response, very, very small one. He said, KSM, And when look at you, Countryman Songo response, KSM, That was his crime. He says you have to vary the tactics. Come and hear the insults. Let us give you under 17 to see if you can handle them. We smoker, But I was learning something. I was learning how Ghanaians are afraid of those who are willing to tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. Because that's what Countryman Songo did. He told the truth and let the chips fall where they may. DKY spoke the truth. Look, if you're going to listen into what DKY said on this program, I would think that right after the coach had intelligently, on his own, decided to resign, the next resignation should come from Kurt Okraku. The next resignation should come from the whole GFA. They are the ones who have failed this country miserably. And it's sad to hear this from you because my name is sports, my name is soccer, my name is athletics, my name is but just on the surface of the common sense analysis, I can say that the problem, like the coach said, it's not the players on the field though. The problem is what happens offline, off the field. And I'm saying this, I don't know soccer, and I've come clean. Even when, remember when it was a goalless draw against the UK, I came here and I praised Ghana. I said they couldn't score. Yeah, Ghana, Black Stars. Show some love for the Black Stars, man. You know, I think the Black Stars perform amazingly well. You know, when it started, you know, the English team, I mean, their passes were so accurate. They were so fast. I see, Charlie, this one day is going to be home for Black Stars. So, in my new fight, man, no. I was even watching the way they were moving and passing, and I'm like, whew. But let me tell you 3 things. I'm a new fight, mini sports. But let me just mention 3 things that I saw of the Black Stars team. Folks, the first thing I noticed about the Black Stars was what I call the defensive discipline. Damn! The second thing I noticed was what I call the tactical awareness. Charlie, did you see the midfield? I mean, how sharp they were? That they were just blocking the spaces and the chances for the English. And the last thing, folks, was the mental fortitude of the Black Stars, man. Charlie, the concentration, the focus was fantastic. And that is one of the things that really impressed me was the mental fortitude. That's what I'll call it. The mental fortitude to just hang in there, make sure that the English cannot penetrate. And my goodness, what amazing tactical defense. I was like so elated because in my mind, all I know is that they told me, Charlie, England team is wild though. At the very minimum, they can give Black Stars 5-0. And so when it was a goalless draw, it was like a big victory. But it was only after I invited Songo man, and he pointed out something to me. And his response actually awoken something in me. Then I cried, me KSM. Then it was very foolish of me when I was going crazy about the 0-0 goal line. Because Songo said, why have we accepted and celebrating mediocrity?
Now we come to our second game against England. I want to be so shocked.
Against England? No?
Yeah, I want to be so shocked about some Ghanaians. When you celebrate mediocrity out of 0-0 against England, who bond up? What do you want to tell me?
I guess they were all thinking so. And yet they said England don't go about 5-0. The one was
that is you're thinking. Why are you thinking so? And then you call World Cup yesterday for the best players score, and you are thinking so. Be show 5. I didn't hear any man to man. But Mali is man to man. You understand? All the 11 ever, Mr. the 11 ever. Hey, if you choose the best players, you can be able to compete at the world stage. That is the issue here. Wakobo 0-0, so you've won the World Cup.
It was like
you
a
are
win.
celebrating.
Yeah.
Celebrating what? Mediocrity. And also so statistics now kotiai. You defending. You didn't even put one shot on target.
Ampo, you're going to go into a game with somebody. Your team too, you have value. We have a history. We are a team that is celebrated. You're going to go into a game with England, and he says, on what basis do you decide that this game we are going there, minimum 5-0 from England? Or say a mediocrity. And according to countryman Songo, the statistics on the ground do not support that conclusion. He says the data that does not support the conclusion says if you go 0-0, the whole of the country should celebrate. And we did. Number one, yeah. They couldn't score, so let's celebrate. Yeah! Number one, I will have to admit. But countryman opened my eyes and said, yeah, Charlie, it was nothing but a celebration of mediocrity. And mediocrity only comes after you have accepted, say, maybe you're inferior. The opponent I'm going to meet is the superior one. The opponent I'm going to meet is the one that knows me, I'm inferior. So at best, let me not let them score me. Even if I don't score them, it's okay. And that was our tactics. So while we were all celebrating, Songo man was cursing the man, said, now what kind of performance is this? And all I'm saying is this. Songo man did not deserve any of the insults that were on Facebook. And those of you who saw it on Facebook and insulted me, I'm saying shame on all of you. Because yeah, fine, you can disagree with countryman Songo. But just tell countryman Songo, I don't agree with you, this and this and this and this. But you don't insult the man, a weed smoker, useless person, insults, even his family cry you were insulting. Why? And Songo man's only crime was that he told the truth and let the chips fall where they may. Except that we didn't like where the chips fell. And he didn't attempt to no end. But like we say on this show all the time, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. The truth that Songo man has been speaking, the truth that Kweku has been saying, I haven't featured him yet, but the truth that Sports Obama has been saying all the time. Today, let me say to my great friends, Sports Obama, Kweku and countryman Songo, Pacho, Mumajebubo. In Ghana, I say, Bejobo, come and collect your stone. Let me say to the three of you, because regardless of all the insults you've suffered, the abuses, you stuck to one thing, and you said to Ghanaians, Charlie, we will call it like it is. We'll let the chips fall where they may, and eventually, the truth that you are crashing to earth shall rise again in your own faces. What I liked about Songo, he backed this with data. He backed everything he said with data. He didn't just come and sit here and talk back. Everything he said was backed with data.
So against everything, also, it goes also Koma Ghana, and judging from the fact, he said this is their second time at Panama World Cup. Ain't she good? Ghana World Cup. This is our 5th time. 5 times. What you do quarterfinals that, which see a little bit focused. Kakrebi penalty shootout against Europe, and you do semi-finals to see whether we can win the cup. Ghana World Cup 5 times. Dano, your second match be Obianche. So we have the pedigree against, and I say you will be China, Panama, football no more. See, but we were not able to go forward. What I say? Out from nowhere.
Strategy. I was
No,
still saying.
I'm coming. If it is strategy, from nowhere, any go no against Panama, statistics in Nakutia. Now we come to our second game against England. And also so statistics in Nakutia. You defended. You didn't even put one shot on target. O game a boy against Croatia so no statistics in Nakutia. O shot on target way. Even when that game you claim say UBM why? It's still defending coach now, a defensive defending coach.
The Ghanaians listen and analyze the data. No. How does that make you feel? Today I'm talking directly to all of my friends who saw it on Facebook, and you know yourselves who insulted him to no end. How do you really feel the day after Queiroz Kurt resigned? Even your coach has resigned, citing to you that, Charlie, the problem with the Black Stars is not the team. When they say it's not the team, what does it mean? It means the machinations in the back. The greed, GFA president and their cohorts. Me, I don't know, but from what I hear, allegedly, they all have their football teams.
So long as the FA president is in football business, he has a management agency. He has about 5 or so football clubs that I know of. Dreams FC, Dreams Ladies, Kasuna Nankana, Still Believe, Decide. Those are the 5 I know. They all belong to Kurt Okraku. All his cronies have clubs as well. So long as there's that conflict of interest situation, there will never be fair selection into any of our national teams. No. So deliberately, Kurt Okraku has taken charge of the juvenile football as the chairman. But that is where the talent are. He gets them and pushes them into his agency. So there will never be fairness in our player selection. I told you about Joseph Pentil's situation. He's our best winger in terms of numbers, but he was sidelined. He's not part of the World Cup squad. Meanwhile, we have players who are coming from injury. Whole season, they've played about 3 matches. They are in the game. We have players whose numbers are nowhere near Joseph Pentil. They are in the squad. So there wouldn't be any fairness.
This is a massive conflict of interest that is shameless. You're a GFA president or vice president, you have your teams. And you try and get those who are in your teams to come and play in the World Cup, the Black Stars. This is what we call shameless conflict of interest. But do Ghanaians care? Oh no, it is still happening. It is happening because me, like I said, I'm not a sports person, but this is what consistently sports people have been saying. Consistently. The GFA, and the GFA, and the Kurt Okraku, and the Kurt Okraku, and consistently.
You get the correct people to be in charge to run the football association.
So who do we have running the football association now? They are not the correct people.
One more record speaks result. Me, I go with results. If you have been in you've been in office for like 7 years and there are no results to show, what do I do? That means you need to be changed. That is all I can say. Your results tells me that you are good. Let's take 7 years now into office. These football people, what are their results? Nothing to show. So I am right to say they should get out or they should change them or some. We need different faces.
And I'm saying this, folks. I said one of the few things we can learn from this is not our performance poll, it's the resignation of the coach. It speaks volumes. And the reason he said he has resigned, the constant interference. And like I said, if they were all abrofo, white folks, right thinking like not only the coach would have resigned, but today we would have had Kurt Okraku and the whole GFA saying they are stepping aside. But I want to read you something that Kurt Okraku wrote that says we should all shut up because we should be even proud of this mediocrity that we experience. Listen to this. He said, before the start of the 2026 World Cup, many doubted the team's ability to compete. They were doubting the team's ability to compete at the global stage. Yet the Black Stars responded by qualifying from a very difficult group into the round of 32. That resilience should make every Ghanaian and our supporters proud. Kurt Okraku say, you Ghanaians, shut the hell up. We should be proud. We should go on a victory parade in Accra, proud because of the resilience. And people like Countryman Songo say, what are you talking about, make Ghanaians proud? We have seen something even better before.
If you come to Africa continent, Black Stars here 4 times African champions. We've produced great players. Great Abedia, Pele, Muhammad, Polo, Razak, Osei Kofi. I mean, great players and great football administrators. The late Ben Kofi Muni, Yiki Afrani Muni Sam, Adimi multi-system coach. And Ghana, under 17 World Cup. Not once. Ghana, under 17 World Cup. Ghana, under 20 World Cup.
We have seen performance that was even better than this trashy performance that you put out there. That Kurt says we should all, today to me, I'm sharing Michelle White, we should all wear white and go in the streets and celebrate. Look, on a certain level, I can appreciate that he says we had resilience and we qualified to a certain extent. But at the big picture, I think I'm with Countryman Songo. Say Agrodi no one form. All the stats went against us. Ball possession, if I say shot at goal, what do you call it? Shot at goal, absolutely zero. There was nothing to celebrate. Yeah, we can be thankful that England did not give us 5-0. Yeah, celebrate it. Next Sunday, all Ghanaians wear white and go to church and tell your pastor you are there to celebrate one thing. We didn't get 5-0 from England, so Kurt Okraku say because it has said something about the team. Kurt, be the man that you're supposed to be and resign with your entire team. It's enough. It's gotten to the point where I'm almost getting to the point where all of Ghanaians, we have 2 choices. So I think all of Ghanaians have gotten to the stage where we can say right now that we have bread. GFA, you have bread. All you supposed sports officials, maybe I don't know about any of you, but you have bread. Why? You are not delivering. Forget about not delivering you're not even being competitive to get to the stage and say, maybe we didn't go all the way, but we were competitive to a point. Did you watch Cape Verde? Me, I'm not a ball person, but somebody called me and said, KSM, do you watch Cape Verde? He said, go and watch it. And I went back to watch Cape Verde. This was a group that I think 5-6 years ago, I don't know, they knew nothing about football. The Black Stars whooped their ass like there was no tomorrow.
Those countries we used to score them. I remember in 2000, ahead of the 2006 World Cup, I traveled with the Black Stars to beat Cape Verde 4-0 at their home grounds.
What did they do after that? They sent a team to come to Ghana to study Ghana football. Study Ghana football and see their performance. See their resilience. Any form of resilience, no. It was a typical David versus Goliath soccer match. But see the performance and the determination of Cape Verde. The country's population is 520,000, and see their performance against Argentina. But when I saw the game, I was like, wow, this is football. I got up and I said, Cape Verde, I salute. That's the kind of thing that you celebrate too. Not any lousy thing. So we expect England to give us 5 minutes. So about 0-0. We should support the team. As for the team that we support, Kurt Okraku, you don't have to tell us to support the team. We supported the team. The support that Ghanaians give to the team is unmatched. All the hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars that you spend on the team, Ghanaians wholeheartedly to back the team. Look at how the stadiums were filled, the stadia. See how Ghanaians were there cheering. We support the team. So nobody should today come and tell us, you should be grateful and thank the team. We thank the team already. We support the team. But we are pissed off with the management. We are pissed off with GFA. We are pissed off with Kurt Okraku. We are pissed off with all the so-called officials who are accompanying them to the game just so that whatever pardon they are getting, from what I'm hearing, and if I'm hearing wrong, then forgive me. But I don't think I'm hearing wrong. From what I'm hearing is that the GFA has been turned into a cesspool of corruption. It has been turned into a money-making industry. And people are chopping big money. And so for all those who are chopping that kind of big money, it is important for them to maintain the status quo. And the only thing about the status quo is that as great as the Black Stars is, as dynamic as the Black Stars have been, if we continue to maintain this status quo, which has become a cesspool of corruption, and the coach has told us that the problem is not with the players. The problem is what is happening off field. So let me repeat again. If we continue to keep what is going on, we go down faster than we can even, before we see the word Jack, Ghana will be all the way down. So far we are beautifully down. Let me end back on my advice to JM. JM, I beg you. I'm begging you. Have an exit interview with Carlos Queiroz. Forget about what the GFA is saying, that we should be happy. Forget about everything, JM. 2 things I'll beg you right now as I stand on my show here. Number 1, have that exit interview one-on-one with him. It's not a media issue. All the media should stand aside. Everything we should know is that JM has called the coach to sit down one-on-one with him. 30 minutes. I know you're a very, very busy man. Just sit down with him for 30 minutes and listen to the problems that he really is strangling him. The team that he played with, we all know he didn't make the selection. We know that. There's no coach in this world who's so great that can take over in 2 weeks and come up with the selection.
Are you telling me that before he was appointed, GFA had already told him to do, let me say, an examination, analysis, critical analysis of all our players playing here? That within 2 weeks, he could submit a list of players. It means somebody
not possible
may have recommended a list to him. Who did that? Because he didn't know the players.
This was a GFA decision. So back to what I'm saying before I end today. Jim, have an exit interview with the coach. All you bloggers that will pick everything I've said, if there's one thing I want you to pick the fact that KSM has called for an exit interview with the coach, one-on-one with the president. Listen, Kurt, We should thank the Black Stars for resilience. That one, they don't even go there. We Ghanaians love the Black Stars. We Ghanaians celebrated Black Stars. We Ghanaians adore the Black Stars. See how we insulted the countryman Songo when he was giving advice on tactics. It was out of the love for the Black Stars. We told essentially, what do you know? Shut the hell up. We are going to go and win. So I'm just saying the point is that we support the Black Stars. It doesn't take you to tell us how we should support the Black Stars. We do that already. Look at what happened in the game. We showed you here clips of people, even marriages that were on the rocks were revived through the Black Stars.
Communities were united. In my constituency, one of the viewing centers, Mr. Speaker, it will interest you to know, started in Alavanyo because of the problem between Alavanyo and Nkonya. Years, the families did not see each other. But yesterday, around 11 o'clock, we have families moving from Nkonya to Alavanyo to watch the match. Mr. Speaker, another incident happened in one of the viewing centers. A man who divorced his wife for 4 years hugged the wife at the viewing center. And this morning, Mr. Speaker, we were told that the woman was found sweeping the former husband. This is what yesterday's match has done to our country. Mr. Speaker, to conclude.
Black Stars brought unity. For one time in our lives, we're focused on how this nation can actually rise. All the nonsensical partisan crap was giving a backbencher, and we're celebrating the Black Stars. It brought an amazing kind of unity and solidarity amongst all of us. It even created a tragedy. There was this lady who was watching that I hear passed out and collapsed and died after the game. Her passion, her love for the sports, her dedication actually killed her. She was the unfortunate one. There are many, many others who escaped dying, and it's all to the passion, the love that we have. So, Kurt Pacho, hold on to that advice that we should thank ourselves and we are resilient. No. We wanted more, and we wanted what Zongoman was saying. Say, yeah, very tactics kakra. Now, football is not all about defense, but you have to put the ball in the net.
My expectation is that coach, should vary his status. On varying the system, As much as you defend, you need to find a way to attack, to create chances, to also score. You can't always defend. You will concede. Because 3 matches in our defending Mama for Mutatis. Now, our next opponent, Colombia, they are going to work on that, your defending, defensive game of play. So to be able to break it down. And your defense is so fantastic. A solid match. After all, you are selecting only defensive or defending players in Guanaco World Cup war. So you should vary his status against Colombia, so we can also see our team say, yes, we express here, yes, we create chances, yes, we pursue a share, yes, we pursue your goals, maybe a World Cup.
So let me end that on all I'm saying again. Mr. President, please sit down with Carlos Cruz. He's not a black man, no. I'm sorry to say this, and I'm sorry that white folks are listening to this, but let us tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. We know black people, resign that. With all the dismal performance, we had to fire Tuadu Konko. Politically, let's look at our own good friend, Ken Ofrata. For the first time in the history of this country, about 40 plus members of his own party want to see the president and say, President, this man there, if he can't resign, sack him. 2 things. Or see me resign, China. Number 2, President, me sacking China. And we dealt with that until now. He realized that Ghana Fokra, Madwin, if you let me go and chill in US and get my permanent residency and relax. Let's bring the same thing to Ghana football. My radical mind tells me that GFA, despite the whole thing, let us start again. Even if it's going to take us 2 years to rebuild and start, let's do whatever it takes. and stop this, Catherine Manzongo, thank you for your word, and stop this mediocrity.
Now we come to our second game against England. I want to be so shocked.
Against England?
I want to be so shocked about some Ghanaians. When you celebrate mediocrity out of 0-0 against England, who bond dog? What do you want to tell me?
So, Mr. President, sit down with Carlos. Yeah, I just said 30 minutes, but maybe the things you want to say will take about 1 hour. Sit down with him. And in media, nobody, just be there. Listen to him. I'm sure he'll tell you everything. I'm sure he has experienced the system of a systemic corruption, which is the one killing the football, not the boys at the field. They are doing what they can, but the systemic corruption. Yeah, sit down with them and listen. And don't just listen, come back and take some radical steps so that finally all Ghana can say is that, hey, Charlie, this resetting, we were not expecting to come from football, but it has started with football. Dramatic, radical action to disband the internal system that is crippling the Black Stars, so the Black Stars will be free to rise again and perform again. The mechanical. When that is done, then I know that we can actually feel, say, yes, resetting is emotion. Until then, Ghanaians will repeat the same performance until death do us part. On that note, let us hope that something drastic will come from this meeting, which should happen. The exit interview of Carlos Queiroz, that I'm hoping will happen. Catch up with you all